So when you're looking for an offshore fishing kayak, one of the questions I get asked a lot is what is the difference between the Profish 400 and the Profish Reload? Or more to the point, which one is better? Here I'll try and give you a couple of insights as to the key differences that I find with these two kayaks. As with anything, it depends on your needs and what your compromises are. You can't say one is better than the other. Let me run you through 2 or 3 key features, and then you can go and check out the full review of each model, and that'll tell you a lot more and hopefully help you make a decision. Hey, welcome along to my series of kayak reviews. My name's Jason. I've been in the kayak industry for the last 15 years, and in this time working in the kayak industry, I've had access to some amazing products. And the great thing about working in the industry, I get to play with these products a lot, so I've got some really good feedback. I spent a lot of time on the water with a lot of the products that I'm reviewing, so I can give you some pretty honest feedback. And hopefully in these reviews we cover all the questions that you might have, but if I've missed anything, make sure you leave a comment and I'll answer straight away. And if you find these reviews useful, it really helps me if you share it around. So hit the subscribe button, share, comment, you know what to do. Let's get stuck into the review. Now when you look at these two side by side, you can see why people struggle to make a decision, because they're both very good kayaks. I guess straight off the bat, one of the most obvious things is the length. The Reload's at 4.5 meters, the Profish 400's at 4 meters. It doesn't look like a lot here or down the back there, but it really does make a difference out on the ocean. Where the Profish Reload comes alive is offshore when it chops up. If it gets rough out there, this kayak is super stable and super efficient. Nice big flare on the bow, meaning you don't cop a lot of water over the front. The Profish 400, being a little bit lower profile in the front, doesn't have as much lift in the bow. You will cop a little bit more water over, so it can be a slightly wetter ride arguably. It's a slightly heavier kayak, the Reload, which means it sits down in the water a little better. Again, that's an advantage when it gets rough out there. If you want to carry more gear, you simply have more options with the Profish Reload. You have a larger hatch in the front, you've got extra storage pods behind you. They certainly come in handy for extra things you don't need that are not essential. They don't need to be in this space here. They can just be stowed away in the back and you just access them when you need to. You don't have that option in the Profish 400. You've got the same storage well in the back of the Reload and the 400. Both have the rudder option, easily put the Bixby on the back. Cockpits are pretty much laid out the same, but you have a standard tackle pod, which is at least a third more volume, maybe more than the standard well in the 400. The larger hatch is certainly a key feature. The smaller hatch there, you've got the larger hatch if you're into spearfishing, if you want to carry more gear, particularly if you want to throw your sea tug trolley in there, the larger hatch is the way to go. One of the really important things with the 400 versus the Reload, if you're not able to lift a heavier kayak, because this is a slightly heavier kayak, if you're not able to lift or transport a heavier kayak, you're better off in the 400. It's going to get you offshore, it's going to paddle nicely afar, it's going to paddle nicely against currents and wind, but it's not going to be unmanageable off the water. The cockpit's well laid out, it'll do everything you need it to do in the open ocean and in the rivers. Both of these are a blast in the surf. I can't say one is better than the other. They both have strengths and weaknesses, but they're both a blast in the surf. Fantastic on the rivers, great all-round family kayaks. You can throw the kids in the back, throw the dog in the back. Kids can use them. So if most of your kayak fishing is going to be offshore and you want to carry more gear or you want to go further, you probably want to start looking at the Reload. If you're just starting out and you're not sure which way to go, you don't know if you're going to be a big open ocean paddler, then go the Profish 400. It'll do everything you need it to do. So I don't know if that really helped you, because they're both great kayaks, and when you start talking about the features and benefits, it's quite hard to identify which one I like more, because they both have their place. So again, if you can, take one for a paddle. Go and look at my full review. You can see how I've set them up differently. It'll tell you more and it might help you make a decision. But I certainly think a test paddle will be the decider for you. This is the Viking Kayak Profish 400. Okay, so this is my review of the Profish Reload.